Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bearwood's Energy Free Reiki Clinic. Tonight it is April 10th. Tonight we are going to take a nice little dive into frequency. My goal for you tonight is to help you remember the frequency that we instill in you tonight so that you can call on that frequency at any time when you need it and make yourself feel better. Because as we move into the future, what is really important is our frequency. So it's going to be really helpful if we can call on those frequencies at a moment's notice. So let me say hi to Jay, and I'd like to say hi to Brittany and Sue. If you would like me to put anything specific on the intention list tonight, please let me know and I can get that on here. And let me get some of on here. Okay, so the intentions that I've set for you tonight, just by default, are that you have a deep healing sleep and that you have joy tomorrow and leading up into the next couple weeks, all the way like through the 17th and 18th and 19th, when Mars is moving out of Cancer and into Aries. So tonight, we are going to take a deep breath in and get some cerebral fluid pumping through our body. We're going to breathe in deeply into the bottom of our lungs, and we'll hold it for about 3 or 4 seconds at the top. And then we will exhale that energy all the way out. And we want our exhale to be longer than our inhale. And we want to do that about 3 times. And if you can do it for if you could do it for 4 times, that's fine too. Focus on it going slowly and focus on the sensation that runs through your body while you're breathing in this way. And when we breathe in, what we'll do is we'll bring a frequency from above our head down in through our crown, down into our central column, which will run down straight into our heart. And we'll hold that frequency there. And then with our next breath, we'll bring that frequency in and then expand it with our exhale. And we'll let that breath flow and that frequency flow out from the center into the rest of our body. And it will fill our body with the frequency that we choose. And in this way, we can talk to ourselves and heal ourselves and help them heal us as a whole. So let's go ahead and get started. So close your eyes and take one of those deep, deep breaths in. And when your lungs are filled completely, hold it there for about 3 seconds. And then exhale. Exhale completely. Letting your exhale be longer than your inhale. And do this 2 or 3 more times as I continue to talk. And focus on your breath and be open to receive. The first frequency we'll focus on before we begin our Reiki treatment tonight is serenity. So with your eyes closed and your breath at a steady, slow pace, think of a moment that has provided you with serenity. Bring that memory into the body and feel that frequency vibrate through your cells and through your skin. Feel serenity move down the central column. And breathe in. Let that heart center return inward to retrieve this energy of serenity. And with your exhale, let it spread out into your body and beyond you. And feel that reaction through your body, stronger and move further outward. Now, with your next breath, choose your own frequency to bring down through your crown and into your heart center. And I'm going to mute and go ahead and begin our Reiki and our source light treatment. does it for Reiki Clinic on April 10th. I will be hanging out here a little bit to mess with my sound. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to join me and ask me any questions. On the last Sunday of this month, we're going to have a public meditation for burnout and stress relief. So if you're interested in that, we're going to meet at my new office downtown in Lawrence on 11th Street, and all the details are on the events page if you're interested in that. Other than that, I'll see you back here for another Reiki clinic on April 24th. Everybody stay safe, stay happy, stay vibrating high, and happy healing. Thanks so much. From Barrett's Energy.